Have you ever priced your product lower, assuming that will attract more customers? Do you realize that sometimes that decision actually damages your brand? One of the most common mistakes that founders make is confusing pricing versus competitiveness. Founders assume that decreasing the price or keeping a lower price will bring in more sales. But pricing is not just about sales. It quietly defines what your brand is. It sets the perspective of your brand in the customer's mind. Let me tell you how to price your product perfectly. First thing that you have to do is you have to understand which segment of the customer that you're planning to target. You need to be absolutely clear about this decision. Who you serve, who you're planning to serve determines the price. So the first thing that you have to do is create a persona for your customer, and based on that, we can decide on what pricing your product is going to be. If this sounds complex, let me simplify it for you with an example. Tea. You drink tea almost every day. There is a tea shop in the corner of your street. They sell tea for what, 10 rupees, 15 rupees? And then you have your chai gullies, chai wale, chai kings and all that. These new age tea shops where they charge about a little more, 20, 25 rupees with an AC setup, where you can also take your family along for drinking tea, right? And then you have your Starbucks and your cafes, okay, your co-working spaces, your cafes, where you do your meetings and all that. They also sell teas for what, 250, 300 rupees? Huge jump in the price. And you also have your Taj hotels, your ITCs, your Leela Palace. They charge what, 450, 500, 600 rupees per tea. Same tea. What is the difference? How do they price? From 10 rupees to about 600, 700 rupees for the same tea. What determines the price? Because these outlets exactly know who their target customers are. The tea shop that sells tea for 10 rupees to a labor class person is not targeting somebody who runs a business empire, and vice versa for ITC and Taj. That's the difference. Now, do you understand? I'll also give you one more example from my own life. Okay, when we started our nutrition business, we set the price as 999 rupees. We thought that, a diet plan for 1,000 rupees, people are going to say we're expensive. We were scared. We were afraid of the market. So we charged 999 rupees and many people bought. But there was a problem that came alongside. The quality of the customers that we expected, it was not up to the mark. The customers who felt a price pinch were the people who were actually coming to us, which means that, they asked for more for the same 1,000 rupees. The customer loyalty was too low. They asked for discounts. They were upset if we did not give them discounts. So these are people who were bargaining at best. And these are not the customers we actually wanted to attract. So then, we spoke to our mentor. And we changed the whole way. We did a bit of rebranding and we started charging 10,000 rupees. You will be amazed when I say 1,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees. But trust me, it made a whole world of difference. The exact type of customers, we wanted well-informed customers to come to us who will follow the diet religiously. So these are people who we wanted to attract, and these guys started coming in. Our efforts became less because the customer themselves were knowledgeable. They trusted us more. They did not bargain. We did not have to spend energy in explaining why it cannot be given for a lesser cost and all that. So the whole brand perspective changed. We became a bigger brand because we were serving to the exact target customers we wanted to serve. It doesn't mean you cannot become a bigger brand by serving to the lower strata income group of the market. No, I never said that. But you have to understand who is your target market. That is my whole point. So there is a simple lesson that I learned from my own experience. Pricing is not just a number in your business. It is one of the strongest signals that you send to the market on who your customer is.